if all of the traps were not slapstick, they would be very traumatizing.
True. Can I say my favorite?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I really liked when he got the BB gun and like put it through the dog door.
What the heck? That's not... Okay, that's...
It's still my favorite because you just see it like poking out and they're just like they don't notice it at first and it shoots him in the leg.
Oh, you think he shot him in the leg?
Oh wait, he didn't shoot him in the leg. I remember now.
That's why I grimaced.
Oh, I see.
Hello there.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
Talk to me, Goose.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Why so serious?
I could do this all day.
Are you watching closely?
Oh, it's recording. Yeah. I'm gonna do a clap. Why? Because I'll see a spike with the clap, and I can see my clap. See? Yeah, I see. But I don't.
Welcome, everybody. Greetings to the One-Eyed Christmas podcast.
Christmas music is still playing, as in the Christmas version that Jordan made me last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that.
Yeah, I was trying last year to... Did you spill?
Maybe.
I was trying last year to put Christmas music on the theme music, and I was like, this isn't working.
I feel like we should do it this way, so you can actually see the spatula.
Sure. So then I messaged Jordan, and he was like, yeah, I got you. And he just, within like 5 minutes, he sent me a normal version that sounded really good. So that's what they just finished listening to.
Lovely.
I just realized that my dog's out, but I can't show them, or we're gonna end up with another Josh story.
Ooh.
Still have not gotten them to tell that story.
Can they see that you're wearing shorts?
Yeah, but it's warm in here.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
I don't want that to fall in, but I hope that was a good sound.
ASMR.
ASMR, yeah.
All right, we are going to spend the rest of the podcast episode whispering.
No. Just because.
All right, so what are we talking about?
That's gonna hurt my ears. I already know.
Yeah, probably.
What are we talking about? I forgot.
Home Alone.
I swear that the 3 episodes that I've done with just you end up being unhinged because we just end up being a couple on camera, and it's not like not professional like others.
Well, we're like the background is our apartment.
Duh. But I'm thinking like with Anna when we did Tangled. But
Yeah.
Anna and you are very similar.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Or no, Anna and you are similar.
We're all similar. That's why you like me.
Oh, okay. Wait, I just like you because you're like me.
Sorry, not sorry.
I made him hot chocolate, so the first 15 minutes of this episode will just be him drinking his hot chocolate, and then we will talk.
It's like last week. I feel like the snacks need to stop.
Because you're just going to eat the snacks and not...
2 weeks in a row, and I'm just smacking in the microphone for the first 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah.
Well. Anyways, Home Alone. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk? Not me.
We're going to pick apart everything to get any little semblance of goodness and truth from the movie that's really made to just be a slapstick
100%.
live action. Like, you think about it.
Comedy.
That's the only reason you're going to watch it. But there's still some heart in it, you know?
Oh, yeah, but, like, the mom kind of abandons her son, because... Oops.
She didn't mean to.
I know, but, like...
Also,
she still did.
Okay, let's back up a little bit before we talk details. These have clips. We could clip them onto our shirts.
What'd you say?
On our shirts.
Shirts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we choose spatulas. Anyways. How many Home Alone movies are there?
I only know of 2. I know there are more. I think... Okay, am I guessing?
Yes.
Okay, like 5?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's 5?
As of last year, there's 5.
Okay. But then there's, like, spin-off other...
No, as of last year, there are 5.
Just 5 movies.
I believe. Where's your phone? My phone's
Just
recording.
5 movies.
No, I need my...
Fact checker?
Fact checker. And
All
my
right,
phone's being used.
Speaking of nothing, this isn't speaking of anything.
You just say speaking of next topic, and then you say
speaking of next topic, I actually have to go stretch and pull my bread. So
okay,
you can fact check, and I'm gonna go take care of my bread.
I can fact check. Okay, Home Alone. Yes, I am. Where is like the Home Alone franchise on Wikipedia? Because it'll say like. So, Home Alone 1 is 1990. It is coming up on 35 years old. Just crazy. Use in Poland. Some of the Wikipedia titles or headers for subsections of the article, they're just so random that they make me want to look at it. So you're just scrolling on Home Alone, you have plot, cast, production, music, use in Poland. It's because it was some of the first Western movies to be released in Poland since the end of the communist rule.
Oh.
So I guess communism.
My cousin lived in Poland for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Where is sequels and franchise? Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Culkin was paid $4.5 million to appear in the sequel.
Who?
Kevin.
Oh, that guy.
He's so rich when he's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
The third.
I hope his parents saved that for him and didn't let him just have free reign.
It's true. I hope the parents were nice and didn't take it for themselves. Anyways, 1992 was Home Alone 2. 1997 was Home Alone 3. With entirely different actors and characters. Television film. 2002, Home Alone 4. Taking Back the House.
4 came out the year I was born?
Yep.
I didn't know they were that old.
I wanted to watch through all of the booby traps, but we didn't have time. But I do think they get better. I don't think the actual story gets better.
Well, the second one, we just watched some of the booby traps. They're like, it was all the same. It was just explosive.
Well, obviously, if they're following the same story, they're going to be like, oh, he's the stairway with the paint cans. That's funny. But there's also a lot more dramatic things like explosions and
right. They just suddenly were like, you know what? We need more fire in this one.
But I do think it was better.
Of course you do. You're a boy.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, this is interesting. Home Alone 4 features some of the same characters who were in the first two movies, but with a new cast and storyline. I feel like that'd be worse. I think part of the charm is the 90s style with Macaulay Culkin and Joe Pesci and the other guy. I forgot his name. The fifth film, okay, maybe I was wrong. The fifth film, Holiday Heist, premiered during ABC's Family Countdown to 25 Days of Christmas programming event on November 25th, 2012.
A few years ago, you said?
You were wrong. Nope. You were wrong in that there were 5 films, but I was also wrong in that there were 5 films.
Oh.
There's 6, I think. Yes.
2021.
Similarly to the third film, it does not focus on the McAllister family. Now I'm interested in watching them. We really should watch the movies we're talking about.
Yeah, but we watched the first one, and they're all kind of the same. We're going to pretend that the other ones don't exist. We're going for 1 and 2. We're going to talk about 1 and 2.
I know, but I'm still interested in the history of it. Another idea was once discussed involving an adult Kevin attempting revenge on Harry and Marv, who have reformed in the years since they met.
No.
That seems terrible. That means
Kevin's the bad guy.
Kevin turns into the bad guy, and the Wet Bandits, like they said,
don't
reform.
call them that. I don't like that.
That's their name.
They shouldn't.
Okay, Harry and Marv.
Thank you.
Harry and Marv are reformed. That's just mean.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun. And I said, I think I would watch like a grown-up version of it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, and I did see this. So it was 3 years ago, in 2021, called Home Sweet Home Alone. That was a Disney Plus exclusive.
Right.
Kind of expect it from a Disney Plus original to not be that great. And the only connection was that Buzz McAllister returned for a role. Or no, it says reprised his role. So that means he was Buzz again. But I think...
Reprise or reprise?
Reprise is a song. Reprise is people coming back to play the character.
Fine.
Apparently Buzz turns into a cop. Not turns into. He grows up.
Poof, you're a cop.
He grows up and he becomes a cop. And that's what he was in Home Sweet Home Alone.
Gotcha.
And I think after this we will still watch the booby traps from them and have a good laugh at them because it's really what the movie is all about. And that's what we were talking about before I wanted to look up the history.
Yeah, so that was a nerdy Wikipedia rant.
Wikipedia is a good summary.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Skimming Wikipedia is a good summary.
Yes. I don't like... I understand professors saying you can't use Wikipedia in your article or in your paper as a source. That doesn't mean it's false. For most things, it's objective.
It's just not academic.
I understand that. I'm not saying they should let us use it. I'm saying that them saying you can't use it, in my mind for a while, was like, oh, it's not reliable, which it's not, because it's written by a bunch of different people. And anyone,
So is the Bible.
Wikipedia's not God, it's Bible.
That's true.
But it's like people troll sometimes on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I get that, but it is a good
Have you ever
generalization.
considered writing your own Wikipedia page?
There are a lot of like YouTuber wikis that, like, one time I watched Doug a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And one time I was like, this meme doesn't make any sense. Like this joke.
Doug collab. Hit us up. Sorry, go ahead. He wouldn't even like know what to do with this.
No.
We wouldn't know what to do with him.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
probably not. But yeah, there's a meme that had started on his live stream that I wasn't familiar with, and so I went and looked it up on his wiki, and there's just a whole list of all of the recurring jokes of Doug and his community. So things like that. So even though we have a fan page, which is super easy to just create an Instagram page, I don't think an OAFP wiki is doable because somebody would have to be incessantly updating it, and I don't know what you would update it with besides like, let's figure out what Seth is doing with his real life.
The short answer is yes, you've considered it. No, you don't want to do it.
There's no reason to. Just join our Discord and ask me a question, and then you don't have to go search a wiki. I'm accessible right now for anyone to just hang out with me.
Please let me know if they're coming here.
Not in person.
It's good hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's good. I ate the little man. So, Home Alone.
Home Alone.
The little heart that is behind it is the same in the first two movies, which again, that's really the only ones we're talking about. The first two movies have the next door neighbor, who I think is scary without reason. As in, he plays
He's not
into.
scary.
No,
he's never scary.
He's staring across the alley, shoveling snow, and he's just.
They make the music swell and they make it zoom in on his face so he looks creepy, but he's never
He
scared.
never smiles, and then when he's finally in the church, he does smile.
Of course he doesn't smile. He thinks the kid's terrified of him. If you have a kid staring at you like this, are you gonna smile at him? No, he's already scared of you.
Delicious. Yeah. So, I know it's played up, but the heart behind it when it's in the church, and then the follow up, the payoff at the very end when they look out the window is very sweet.
Yeah.
That one, it was just the value of family and how the old man is like, I got mad at my son, and we haven't seen each other for years, and then he makes up, and Kevin, it's kind of like the faith of a child, childlike faith, where it's just like the simplicity is like, and it's also the situation that he's in. He's like, I would give anything to see my family. So even though he got his wish and has been alone for 3 days or whatever, he's realizing that he really doesn't miss them.
Yeah.
It's kind of an emotional outburst.
Yeah.
Of an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. But there's a childlike faith, but also just the simplicity of how a child thinks, because we tend to, as we get smarter, we get dumber because we start to overthink things. Like the smarter you
You're
are,
so right.
The smarter you are, the more likely you are to overthink. And I tell myself that all the time because I need to hear it. But also like,
Because I'm so smart.
because I'm just no. But the older you get and the more you learn, the more you're like, oh, but this good decision could lead to this outcome because you know more. Mm-hmm. And as a kid, you're just like, these are the things that are important. This is all I'm gonna worry about.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't you just talk to your son? It's not that deep.
Well, and Kevin did show maturity in the last half where he was doing laundry and kind of being thoughtful and stuff like that. So.
Well, even early on, he's like, I'm the man of the house now. And
but he thought man of the house was running around doing whatever he wanted.
At first, but he learned, he's like, oh, this is my responsibility now.
Mm-hmm. I thought there was something that was like, defend this house. I don't know if it was, that was
yes,
kind of, that was the fourth movie? Subtitle, I think. Anyways, maybe I'm getting that mixed up. I thought that he developed a. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm thinking through it where I heard him say that, and it was right before they came. He was like, "This is my house, and I'm going to defend it," or something like that.
Yeah.
So he did take responsibility. The emotional and character development from the first movie is pretty crazy. Where he's very happy that they're gone, and then suddenly responsibility, and then silly booby traps.
Well, he starts out as the youngest kid who's been babied, but he's also like got a huge family, so he just kind of feels left out and left behind.
Why do they pick on? He's not even the youngest. Fuller's the youngest. Fuller's the little kid with glasses.
Fuller's like his cousin, though.
Oh, but still, if it's the greater family, I understand that if he's bullied inside his family, but then all of the rest of the family jumps in on him.
Fuller's got other issues. I feel like that would just be like kicking a kid when he's down.
Well, and if Fuller is like Theo. Where you point something out and then he's like, and makes it a characteristic of himself. Yeah. So it's like Fuller wets the bed and he's like grimacing in the corner. He's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much that you can dissect the Home Alone movies because they're not meant to be taken seriously. We started talking about that's not how physics works, or that's stupid. How
the second movie just completely gets rid of physics entirely.
Yeah. In an extreme way, both of them do, and probably the rest. But they, the character development as well is just over the top, and I think it's supposed to be Looney Tunes style, where Looney Tunes slapstick is really funny, but live action. But also, I think that the drama of Looney Tunes, which is a very low bar, is also shown. And so things don't make sense. Characters do things that don't really make sense.
Yeah, and I think part of it is when things are told from the perspective of a kid, everything seems bigger. So the bullying just seems like, oh, everyone's out to get me, where it might have been like, oh, they were kind of picking on him or nagging at him, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the parents are evil, the brothers are evil, the sibling or the cousins are evil, but it could be that it's just the way he's perceiving it.
Yeah, it's similar to the Christmas Story or best Christmas pageant ever. Yeah, I really like that one.
The reason I think that way is because when he goes down, he sees the furnace and it starts talking, and it's all like it's clearly from his perspective.
I didn't know that it talked when I first watched it. It was when we watched it with subtitles. I was like, "Come here, Kevin." And yeah. So yes, it is dramatic, and part of that's the beauty of it. But also, it's the third person perspective. You know, you're still following the parents. You're following the bandits, and then. So it's not necessarily a narrative that is over exaggerated for the sake of the kid's perspective. It's just the whole story is over exaggerated.
But I think you could do third person, but then like I don't remember what it's called, but it's third person, but you're also like inside the mind of the main character.
Yeah, because Kevin narrates everything that he's doing when he's alone.
That's true. He talks to himself.
I think this kid needs help.
He does, and the funny part is like he's saying what he's doing, and I'm like, oh, I would not have got that if you didn't tell me exactly what you were doing. I think you could pick up on it if he was just going around the house like doing stuff, but
I think that it's again the charm, and I think it would have been a lot more boring of a movie if
I disagree. I think it would have been cute if it's just watching him like try to figure it out. But it's funny. It is funny to have him narrating everything he's doing. Yeah.
And when he's like doing face or aftershave or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, I'm the man of the
Even when he does aftershave a second time, he's like, he hasn't learned.
Yep. So Home Alone.
Did you know that in Home Alone 3 that doesn't exist? Because only Home Alone 1 and 2 actually exist. Home Alone 3 is one of the first times Scarlett Johansson was an actress on screen.
Oh, really?
But she wasn't grown up.
She's a kid.
She's a kid.
Weird.
Yep. She's the Kevin character's older sister.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. Because that was, what did the Wikipedia say, 1997?
Sure.
So, yeah.
That doesn't seem that long ago, but I wasn't alive, so.
Back in the 1900s.
Why did I react like that?
Well, some people,
millennials.
Some people who were born in 1999 were like, "Why are you guys referring to the 90s as the 1900s?" or something like that. We should have watched the heart behind Home Alone 2 because there was the bird lady who plays the same role as Marley.
man.
Marley, yeah. But again, it's a copy paste from the first movie, but it's still she's the heart, and she ends up being the same role in the end where Kevin's in trouble and she saves.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie, but I'm willing to guess that he was in New York, looking around, couldn't figure out where to go, what to do. He saw this lady feeding pigeons. They made a little friendship, and then he went and got his hotel and did his whole thing.
I think it goes deeper than that, because I think he, if I remember right, he sees her and thinks she's creepy, because she's just standing there in her ragged clothes feeding birds, and she's just staring at him.
Maybe.
This is what I'm recalling. You're guessing.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
But that's my guess.
Yeah. So, even so, they at some point talk it through, and I forget what her thing is. So yeah, that's a downside of not watching the movies we're talking about.
Right, but we're talking about mainly one, and then like we watched the pranks in the second one, and there was a lot of explosions and a lot of death threats.
Yeah, there's a lot.
They got really murderous in the second one.
I think the 90s peaked with the self-censorship, I guess. Like, after that, and a little bit into the 2000s, there was, you started to hold back. And, like, yes, of course you can't make death threats to a kid. But it's funny. He's just like, I'm going to kill you. I
want to put a bullet in your head. Like, he literally says that to a child.
It's terrible, but it's funny because it's a comedy movie.
Right, and clearly he's not going to succeed.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
But it's intense. I can understand how I've been indoctrinated by our culture to be like, can't say that.
Right.
But it's still funny.
It's still funny.
I still like that. We can do that.
Funny.
Like, we can do that. Of
death threats to kill children.
We can acknowledge that it's like you can't say that. Can say that. It's not okay, but then still laugh at it. Sure. Like, I think that's there's some comedy specials that are just like, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it's really funny because it's in the sense of comedy.
Yeah.
Pointing out differences and funny stereotypes that really you wouldn't point out in a casual conversation, but because it's a comedian, they get a pass.
That's true. Every comedian should have a trigger warning.
I think they do. I think Netflix has gotten into trouble with that because Netflix usually takes the comedy specials.
Yeah.
And
which they're so good, and
they are.
They just make things less deep.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to be.
Well, and I think some of the best comedians don't attack a single side.
No, they attack everyone, even themselves.
I know. I watched a Dave Chappelle special, and he had all sides. He had the left, he had the right, he had the Jews, he had the atheists, he had the Christians, and I was like,
it's like, all right, now that I've offended everyone.
Yeah, but I don't think
offended anyone.
I don't think it's because they hate anyone. And
no, not at all.
We're getting a little off track.
Oh, big time.
But
that's fine.
But it's how comedy is used.
Yeah.
To lighten the load, and sometimes it's the music. Like with this one, it's all played for slapstick. And these guys, I know there's multiple videos of the actual injuries the bandits received in the Home Alone movies. And it's like so many concussions, incinerations, and third-degree burns. I think probably, I guarantee Dr. Mike has a video about all the injuries.
I would like to argue that Marvin
Harry?
Marv.
Oh.
Is dead.
Oh, yeah.
Because he got electrocuted. He turned into a skeleton. Like, he's dead.
That's actually something. I know that's a trope of when you're getting electrocuted, you can see your skeleton. I don't know if you can. Does your skin become translucent?
I don't think so. But the funny thing is, like, it's not like you saw through his skin.
Yeah,
they didn't use special effects. They just grabbed a skeleton and put him on there.
Put a wig on him and then shook it. He's like,
oh, I love effects that are done practically like that, but just not well.
Yeah. And I think that'd be interesting to watch the other traps in the future movies that don't exist, because I don't think that they have that same charm. 1990 and 92 were just those types of movies that they almost accepted that they're bad.
Yeah, I think how bad they were made them funnier.
The one time when Marv slips on the gel and just rockets to the wall. There's no moment.
Like there's a slope, but there's no slope.
Or when they're in the toy store, and Harry jumps onto the teeter-totter that Kevin made, and he turns and goes, "Marv, no!"
He flies 10 feet in the air.
Yeah, I remember. I think the best time to watch.
Whoa.
The best time to watch.
The best time.
The best time to watch these movies as a kid, because on top of it already being exaggerated, it's so like I remember dying to these, laughing at these
We were
movies.
just laughing at them so hard, though.
They're funny now, but they were, dude. I was crying when I was a kid because it was so funny. I don't. Which one was it that was really, really funny to me? Oh, it was the bricks.
The bricks, yeah.
The bricks from the first one I remember watching at my
what's the
aunt's
second one?
house. What do you mean?
The bricks are the second one.
I know. I think we watched the second one at my aunt's house.
Got it.
And just it's 4 back to back, and even his
Okay, what is your favorite Home Alone prank?
It's got to be the kerosene toilet. Especially because he does a freaking handstand and goes down into the toilet, and then it cuts to the outside of the building, and the lights just go poof. It's the split second of silence. It would have been very different if it happened in, like, the camera stayed inside the room. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I think the comedic timing is good, even if you let go of the rules of physics, and it's just so fun and stupid. It's like there's different levels of fun movies, and this is just truly turn your brain off. And yet, you got to commend 1 and 2 at least. Again, can't talk to the movies that don't exist. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Goodness. And about their heart. But I know 1 has really good heart. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not deep, it's like they took the time to put it in here and to talk about reconciliation. Mm-hmm. I mean, not only did Kevin lose his family and was left home alone, which is the name of the movie.
What? And they say it like 4 times.
I know. I'm,
Kevin is home alone.
I'm conditioned by CinemaSins because whenever the name of the movie is said, he says "roll credits."
That's the name of the movie.
Well, that's pitch meeting. Pitch meeting does. That's the name of the movie. So roll credits. Yeah, roll credits. But not only is like they could have just made him forgotten at home, but he was forgotten because he was angry at his family, and his family was angry at him. Yeah. And among the stress, they forgot him. But there's still, like, when he wants his family home, he partly just wants to reconcile. And that's what happens when his mom gets home, is he's like, I love you, and Merry Christmas. They don't go into the Christian, obviously, to be like,
they don't
I forgive
go into
you,
the Christian.
But they go into the Christian mindset. They actually do go somewhat into the Christian mindset with the church. Yeah. Which is probably
Catholic.
It's probably an older thing.
We love Catholics.
We do.
Okay.
It's probably an older thing to just respect church generally, but like they talk about some basic theology of like, I'm not welcome here, is what Marley says, and then Kevin's like, you're not welcome at church. It's like that's understood, and that's still just a little bit of
everyone's welcome at church.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, so it's...
It was a cute moment.
I know,
liked it. That was cute.
It's sweet, and I miss the casual respect for religion. Yeah. It's just kind of become taboo or even criticized in movies.
Yeah. Or modified to all oblivion, where it's not really real Christianity. They just use it for the sake of putting it in, I don't know.
Well, I'm thinking about the movie Heretic that just came out, where that was no Christian should see that. We didn't see it. But I know the premise of that. 2 evangelists go to a door, and a guy brings them into his house and basically debunks all. It's a big straw man. Okay. And it's also creepy. Like, he's not doing this for good. He's not wanting to have a debate. Yeah. It's supposed to be a horror movie, and it's also a diss on theology and Christianity, and it's not. That's I know gross. It's not good, and I haven't seen it. So.
Well, and like even horror movies being based on like nuns and like just so much of church has been distorted, even just the historical church, even if it's not actually claiming to be Christians, they take it and they're like, oh, let's make this creepy and dark. And I mean, there's something literally demonic about that.
Yeah, there's also, I know we're going more off track, the whole the horror movie stuff is, depending on how the story goes, it's still acknowledging the power of Christ. Because usually the stereotype is that the Catholic priest comes and shows the cross and the demon freaks out, which is true. Yeah. It's just that the existence of the horror movie being made and created over the past 2 years to be shown to millions of people is the point.
Right.
To glory in that freaky jump scare stuff or thriller part of the movie. So.
And you can do scary moments well. I still get freaked out, but when I watch Narnia and the jump scare with the wolf.
Yeah.
But that's just, there's a difference between like a little adrenaline rush and then worshiping that.
Yeah. The Home Alone.
So Home Alone.
Why?
It's not a scary movie at all. We got way off.
Well, it kind of is. If all of the traps were not slapstick, they would be very traumatizing.
True. Can I say my favorite?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I really liked when he got the BB gun and like put it through the dog door.
What the heck? That's not. Okay,
It's still my favorite because you just see it like poking out and they're just like they don't notice it at first and then he shoots him in the leg.
Oh, you think he shot him in the leg?
Oh wait, he didn't shoot him in the leg. I remember now.
That's why I grimaced.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's also, I don't know, I'm sure it exists, but I was like, are there are there pump action BB guns? I'm sure there are, because you can just make a BB gun have any sort of, it's not that hard to put, to load a BB into a chamber and spring load it.
I just
remember having a lever action BB gun as a kid. And he like, when they finally arrive at the door, he just full on pump BB gun, and it's so dramatic.
Isn't that during the scene where they're like playing the audio from that movie? They do that for the pizza guy, and then I think he does it again for the robbers, and that's what's funny.
No, what he does for the robber, when he does the TV.
Oh, it's the fireworks. It's the fireworks that I remember liking.
Oh,
when
the firecrackers,
and they think it's gunshots. That's the one that I like.
That's when they were scoping out the house because they think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's actually anyone in there, and then Kevin quickly turns on the TV and puts firecrackers next to the door, and Mark's
that's
like,
the one. Because that one's like a teaser to the rest of what's happening, and it's just a good start to it.
Yeah.
And calling back the movie for literally a third time is funny.
Yeah, and that became a Christmas sensation. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah.
But that's the loudest TV in the history of the world.
Yeah.
If he's thinking that it's a person.
And also, it's an old movie.
It's
on an old TV. There's no way they would think that was a real person.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell that's a TV.
But we're not here to say what would actually happen.
Right, because
it's all slapstick.
Yeah.
But also,
it's not realistic.
It makes it so much more fun. Like in the second one, he has his Polaroid and he's like, "Guys, smile," and Marv goes.
Yeah. I think they lean more into the goofiness of their characters in the second one.
Yeah.
Like the first one, it's funny because they keep getting fooled, but they're mostly lean into being just angry.
Yeah.
And then the second one, they go a little bit more dopey.
Yeah. Especially Marv.
Yeah.
The stairs. Wait.
The ice stairs?
No, the paint cans in the second one.
Oh,
he's
right.
like, "That's 2," and they go up, and the big beam hits them. "That's 3," and then he cuts it. "And 4."
Yeah. It was well timed. Because they're like, we outsmarted him, and then all of a sudden this just grabs this massive metal beam and just chunk.
Yeah. From what I remember from the third movie that doesn't exist, actually I have to confess something. The third movie was the first one I ever watched. Because it was at a friend's house, and it was one of those things that was assumed that you'd seen all of them.
Sure.
So let's just watch one of them.
Right.
So the third one, from what I remember
doesn't
that doesn't exist, that I remember from 15 years ago. Don't remember because it doesn't exist. 15 years ago, I guarantee it was that long. Was that there was a lot more potty humor.
Yeah,
to put it lightly. That's probably a theme that if we watch the rest of them, you slowly get more of that. Even the Looney Tunes trailer came out, which you haven't seen it, you probably wouldn't be interested. But there's a new Looney Tunes movie coming out, which is the same stuff. Like, it's slapstick, but it's cartoon.
Is it like old cartoon style, or is it?
it's 2D with
Okay.
their same designs, but
Sure.
it looks polished.
Got it.
But there's already a lot of butt jokes in the trailer, and I'm like, Looney Tunes didn't do that all as much in their
No.
I
It
mean-
was more getting hit by anvils.
getting hit by anvils and misunderstood. Looney Tunes the original is so good. It's just so funny to watch those clips that it's just golden, or like ridiculous, nonsensical, like Daffy taking his duckbill off or something. Like those things are so ridiculous. Anyways, my point is that the Despicable Me-ish type of comedy.
Yeah, the Despicable Me disease.
The Minions, has permeated comedy, and I don't like it.
No.
It's not that it's bad. Like, it's not evil. It's just not good.
It's not tasteful.
No.
You can do so much better, and
I know.
that's like
Hence
that's
Looney
like a
Tunes.
cop out.
Hence, yes, exactly. Looney Tunes is the epitome of, or the old stuff, of just situational comedy. Not sitcoms, but ridiculous things that don't revolve around bathroom humor. And yeah, the Despicable Me isms or the minionification of comedy is really annoying, and I don't like it. So
I'm just picturing with our future kids, don't use potty humor. It's a cop out. Just be better. Be more intelligent with your humor.
do you know how we act around each other?
Good point. But still, like,
It's gonna be hard.
you got to use
As we're-
tasteful humor.
As you think about how you would parent in the future, you're like,
I still have the humor of a 13-year-old boy, which
Yes.
is a really big problem.
when I think about your story from when you were a baby, and you were throwing food on the floor, and you were like, "Funny, mommy," and your mom says now that she was trying her hardest not to laugh,
Yeah.
but she was saying, "No, Ellie, not funny." And I'm scared of that when we
Yeah.
inevitably, hopefully, become parents. Is like, there are things that are funny that we're just like, it shouldn't be funny.
This shouldn't be funny. We shouldn't be laughing. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Yep.
I think my dad trained me well not to laugh because if I laughed, it would encourage his really bad jokes. And so I got really good at keeping a straight face when something actually is funny. So, Dad, if you're watching,
He's not.
it is funny. You are funny. He's not watching. There's no way.
No.
But I have to keep
If
a
I
straight
get-
face so I don't encourage it
If
because
I
it
get a
gets
text,
worse.
if I get a text from him saying that he's watching,
Okay.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
He doesn't like me that much. He does like me that much.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyways,
Anywho, so Home Alone.
Home Alone. The So Batman joke has permeated.
It's
the
kinda everything
OEFP
now.
joke.
Because it's so
list.
easy to get off
It
topic.
is, and it's fun, but it's mostly because the Nolan Bros can't stay on track, and so we just
And I
say
have
So
girl brain.
Batman. What?
I have girl brain.
Girl brain.
It's all connected.
Yep. Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Spaghettis and waffles.
So, Home Alone.
Sweet.
It is sweet. There's like some really good moments in that, and I almost like I didn't get emotional, but I kind of got like a little like I didn't cry. I only cry at Venom.
Yeah.
I think I've only cried at 2 movies, and it's Venom and Passion of the Christ. So very different.
Both of
Anyway.
them have sacrifice, but
Yeah.
maybe Venom 3. By the way, I don't think you said that.
Yeah, the new
And you
one.
hadn't watched 1 and 2 yet.
And I had no no investment in the characters whatsoever, but that got me.
It was so funny that you.
It was so sad.
buddy.
Buddy.
Buddy, I just had a crazy dream. Buddy.
Anyway, in Home Alone, in the sweet little moments, like when he finally sees his mom, like he has to like turn around to make it all dramatic, and then like he might be mad, but he didn't get mad because he just missed his mom so much, and his mom kind of approached him tentatively, like, oh, he's gonna be so scared, so angry, and she's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That was the first thing she said, is that she's so sorry. And then he just gives her a hug. He's like, I don't care. I'm just happy I have my mom back.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's precious.
Yeah. It's pretty coincidental. A lot of the things that happen are coincidental.
Yeah.
But
Very.
it's more coincidental that they forget their youngest twice and that they come across the same bandits
two guys.
in a different city.
Not the wet bandits.
So I understand why they didn't make a third with Macaulay
The
Culkin.
same, yeah.
But
Because just the fact that, like, he happened to end up in New York. Oh, look, they're in New York. And
Yeah.
they're trying to rob convenience
and
stores.
New York is big.
Yeah. Yeah,
so-
true. They were in the same part of New York. Is he just... Okay, again, haven't seen the movie, but the first scene we saw, he was wandering by the window. He must have seen them before.
He heard of their plan to
Okay.
to take
Because he
stuff
had a
from-
camera.
I think they both were in the toy store.
Okay.
The bandits and Kevin. And he knew that they were in New York.
Got it.
And that's why they were like, it's him! Because they already knew he was in the area.
Got it, okay.
And then, so he came and got them out of the toy store to follow him to the house that he trapped.
Right.
So, do you want to know what the premise of the third movie is? Pretty sure it's the third. It might be the fourth. That doesn't exist.
Okay.
The bad guys are not just simple bandits. They cranked this up to an 11. They're Russian spies
Yes.
with looking for nuclear codes that got embedded.
Say nuclear again.
Nuclear.
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 They're searching for nuclear codes that a chip was hidden in a RC car, and this RC car got swapped at the airport with their neighbor, their grandma neighbor.
Sure.
And then she got it, and she's like, "This isn't what I got for my grandkids. Here, Kevin, or whatever his name is, you can have it." And then the spies, the Russian spies, come to get it. And I don't think that he knows. Maybe he does, if the chip is in the RC car. But he knows that they're attacking his house, and then he sets up the booby traps.
That reminds me of.
So at least it's original.
True. It reminds me of Stranger Things, where Dustin's like convinced it's Russian spies. He's like, it's got to be Russian spies, and then they're like, it is Russian spies. It's like, what?
Yeah. I think we'll watch the at least the traps of the other movies because I really wish we could rate them. I'm sure people have. It's popular enough that there's best traps. Well, not and 6 movies? There's a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another in a couple years. I think they should have Macaulay Culkin come back.
No.
Not necessarily for an R-rated one, but for another one.
Okay. I don't like the idea of distorting the sweetness and the innocence of the character.
True. But what if he's not? What if he's still innocent as like a 50-year-old?
Then what is he doing with his life if he's out chasing these bad guys?
What
if he's a cop?
What if he's an engineer?
Okay.
And he sends them through the ringer. And as they're like bouncing all over the place, he's playing like Looney Tunes sound.
Oof.
I don't know. There's potential. And okay, I know we're
What do you
joking.
think engineers do?
You tell me. I'm thinking Mark Rober. Mark Rober does insane stuff
Okay.
with engineering.
He's a YouTuber primarily.
That's true.
He just has engineering background.
Yeah. The premise is funny that we're joking about. But because all of the old movies have become rebooted, or TV shows or movies and stuff, with legacy sequels, like it was just announced that Malcolm in the Middle is getting a reboot. Not necessarily a reboot, but a refresh. They're having the characters return for another couple episodes.
Am I supposed to know what that is?
It's an old beloved show.
Okay. It's beloved, except I don't know it. Beloved by all.
But it's like from the
except
80s and
Ellie.
90s. I'm sorry if that's incorrect, but it's an older show.
It's old.
It's like iCarly being rebooted. It's like they're all
iCarly's not old.
No, but they are.
Okay.
They're in their 30s or
Got it,
something.
okay.
And they're still playing the characters because people can't let go of the past. We need to do an episode on nostalgia. Anyways, my
You
point
say
is,
that every time you talk about it.
yeah, it's on the list.
Let's
for
make this
spring.
the episode on nostalgia. Everybody, let's talk about nostalgia.
No, Zach's not here. Zach and I have to yell at each other about nostalgia.
Oh.
Not really.
Oh, because he likes it.
No,
He's a sucker.
not really. We defer it a little bit, But it's really the superheroes that we get at it because
Oh.
Dad, I don't know if you know this, Dad doesn't understand why No Way Home exists for the sake of multiverse and bringing past Spider, because he watched Tobey Maguire Spider-Man as a
Honestly, I can relate to
30-year-old.
that. I think they went a little overboard with that one.
I get that. Well, that's what we would talk about. But
Yeah.
yet, it's one of the best Spider-Man movies we've ever gotten.
Maybe.
That and Daredevil, where Zach and I, even though I'm so excited for Daredevil Born Again, having Charlie Cox continue to play Daredevil instead of giving somebody else a chance. Zach, I know you're listening.
I just realized you call it Born Again. Does he die?
It's the name of the show.
Does he die?
It's the name of the show.
I know.
It's just what it's called.
Okay. We haven't finished the show.
We need to. We'll watch it right after
I'm
this.
scared.
maybe. Just don't worry about it.
No.
Anyways, all of that to say, I would not be surprised, even though we joke about it and how terrible it would be. Macaulay Culkin's still alive.
Yeah.
Mrs. McAllister is still alive. I don't think Joe Pesci and the other guy really have it in them to continue to be bandits. And yes, they scrapped that idea way back in the
Silver
2000s.
Bandits.
I think it might happen. It's one of those things that would happen before they're actually dead. It's like if Bruce Willis didn't have dementia, there would definitely be a Die Hard whatever number is the next one.
How many are there?
There's plenty. But I'm just saying we would
Cue
be getting
Google
legacy.
search
The
once
legacy
again.
sequels are nonstop.
You're gonna fill my search history with movie info.
Yeah. Why isn't it filled with movie info? Die Willis.
Die Willis Bruce. When did Die Willis Bruce?
I typed in Die Willis because I got flipped around. Die Hard movies. I just saw it flash Die Hard 4 from 2007.
No. I've never seen Die Hard.
I know. We were going to watch it because it's a Christmas movie, apparently.
According to some people.
I
And also I've been
tend to
watching
believe
Brooklyn
that.
Nine-Nine and they reference it like every other episode.
Okay. Oh, why don't I just look up franchise? Die Hard franchise, 5 movies.
Yeesh.
Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Live Free or Die Hard, and
It's like Fast and Furious naming convention, aka
A
none.
Good Day to Die Hard.
Okay.
Goodness. Okay.
Die Hard X.
We have to watch every single one of them.
No. That's why I'm like, even with Home Alone, they would have been just fine, more than just fine, just keeping it with one movie. The premise is great. It's a good standalone. They tie it up nice and they wrap it up with a nice little bow, and we don't have to learn about all of his other childhood trauma because he keeps getting forgotten by his family.
I think I think Home Alone 2 was well warranted because they got to improve on some of the traps, and I do like Die Hard.
We're just stuck
I
on
got Die Hard
now.
stuck in my head now. I do like Home Alone 2 traps better than Home Alone 1.
Okay. But like,
But after that,
did we
I
need
agree.
it?
No.
We didn't need it. It was a good standalone movie.
But it was so popular.
Yeah. Oh, they wanted to make money.
Money. Why'd you do it, Mr. Krabs? I like money.
Hello, I like money.
Yes. Neither.
We're
of us
about to watch
SpongeBob.
the episode of Daredevil that has Mr. Krabs in it.
The actor, not the character.
Sure.
Mr. Krabs just shows up.
Hello, I like money.
Hello, I like money.
So, we're at 50 minutes. It's a good episode.
Are you just cutting it?
Right there.
I don't want to.
What else you gotta say?
Talking about Home Alone.
What else do you have to say about Home Alone?
Well, the kid, he was left home alone.
Facts. That's deep.
Like that's pretty intense.
Yep.
Oh no, I just want to keep talking to you.
You can do that without a camera and microphones. We're married.
Oh shoot.
Well, I'm going to say something about this being our 98th episode. I was just adjusting episode titles for last week's episode, and something about it being 97 instead of 96 from the previous week actually hit me that we're so close to 100. Like, that's really fun.
That's cool.
Triple digits.
That's
I wonder
a lot.
how long it would take to listen to every single episode. I could make a playlist and it'll tell me how long it is without adding up every single one.
I feel like they're always an hour to like 3 hours, roughly.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Some of the older ones were like half hour.
Although we did have a really short one for. Honestly, I don't know why we didn't talk about Sound of Freedom very long.
Yeah.
Because that was a good movie.
We can do a revisit. Sorry. We can do a revisited in the future. We're going to start doing revisiteds because of the content. Because, yes, there are some stuff that we could have talked longer on. And I agree that one could have been deeper. And I want to watch it again. So we should also watch Nefarious.
Oh, yeah.
That should have been our Halloween episode. Not because Halloween is scary, but because Halloween is scary. It's kind of thematic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a lot of good Christian movies that have come out, including The Israel Dilemma, which I worked on.
Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk about.
Also, The American Miracle. We're going to talk about that more next year. But The American Miracle was another movie that I didn't get to work on, but it's a very good movie. I can already tell because I've watched it.
Okay. I remember what I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think?
This was something I totally read into the movie, and it was so unnecessary.
Yep.
The fact that the rest of the family got home literally 5 minutes after the mom did, after the mom spent the entire time
Well, there was a line that
stressing her mind out.
Well, there was a line that explained that. The dad says, "We took the early flight that you didn't want to take."
Yeah, okay.
So
So they did.
she was stressing out going, like she said, she'd gone to this airport, to that airport, all around the country, just like bribing or
Kinda.
what's the old like bartering? She would barter for tickets
Yeah.
and such, trying to get back to Chicago, and it wasn't working. And then she had to drive with the polka band.
Polka.
Polka.
With an L.
It's like how our pastor says, folks.
And you've probably had conversations like this with folks.
So yes, the it was played for a sweet moment where everyone's home, and they get to reconcile, and Buzz gets to say, "You're not bad," or whatever he says. But it's kind of, though it could have just worked the way she wanted to.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
it was a flight that she didn't want to take because it was too long, but yet it would have gotten
She
her
still got
there
home.
faster
Or at the same time.
at the same time. But she didn't know that. So yes, that decision 3 days ago.
I'm just saying that's textbook overthinking.
Yeah.
And impatience. And honestly, I did the
It
same
would have been
thing.
worse if she got there after the family.
Yeah.
But there's a reason it's a story, and it doesn't
Right.
have
yeah.
to follow the
Mom
rules
has to
of-
get home first so that she can still have her moment. But yeah,
Also-
sorry.
I was going to move on to something else.
I forgot.
Okay. There's some stuff that's easy for Kevin to clean up, like
Oh my
broken ornaments and such, and cars and all that. But the tar on the basement steps,
It's so bad.
the ice also,
Yeah, that would be rough.
that'd be rough. And it snowed, so it was really slippery.
Yeah.
But I just think that the
But like
bandits
salt
have...
exists.
It's true. But the tar gets me. Mm-hmm. You can even take the nail away, which is one of the most hardest, and it just reminds me of The Quiet Place
totally.
all over again, which is more traumatic than this movie.
Definitely.
By far. But
Significant.
you can even take the nail away, but the tar is still on the steps.
Yeah.
He's not going to... The only real way to take care of that is to replace the steps. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of why, like you were saying, it's more fun to watch this as a kid. Mm-hmm. I think as an adult, I'm like, oh, the mess. Oh, the tar. The glass.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But it's okay.
yeah.
It's for jokes. I remember when I would watch movies as a kid, I would stress out when they made messes. So I'm weird like that, but I'm like, oh my gosh, they just destroyed 2 buildings. That's gonna take forever to clean up.
Device out of storage.
It actually happened.
Yeah, so our camera died because my phone is filled with stuff. So
I'm actually surprised. Like your phone has a lot of storage, but like considering the amount of content that you put on your phone,
Like, I'm very surprised that it just now filled up.
Okay, well, to everyone who is watching, sorry. Oops.
I only listen, so I won't be bothered by this. Sorry.
That's why I have the microphones, because something's gonna go wrong. I was really stressed with the Patterns of Evidence episode because there were so many things that could have gone wrong with
Because you had a
microphones.
portable setup, too.
I didn't have anything. I just brought my tripod and my phone.
That's kind of what we have now.
He has this film studio, so
Right.
then we use somebody else's iPhone, and we got these things, which really, but all of it worked. Like, I would have been really bummed if I didn't have my video or his video.
Sure.
It all worked, which is really great. Today it didn't, so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
Anyways,
content.
Content.
We don't need to. You don't need to see our faces.
they have for the last 40 minutes.
But they don't need to see us now. No.
It's up to the listener to decide what just happened. Anyways. Cut it. We're done. Did you
Thank
have
you,
anything?
everybody, for listening to the One I Film Book.
Did you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Cool. All right.
If we maybe if we watched the other 5 movies, we would have more content.
Yes,
But we didn't.
If this episode is an extra 10 minutes after after we're saying like what we're saying now, if you look at the timestamp and we still got 10 minutes left, that means that we added something at the end, which we might or might not.
Why?
In case we watch the booby traps from the X movies and really like something.
Yeah.
We probably won't.
We probably won't. I don't want to.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
I might watch them.
There's a lot of explosions. At least in the second movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to the One-Eyed Christmas podcast.
Jingle bells.
All the way.
Well, no, I'm saying insert jingle bells here
Oh.
from the intro
I
or
thought,
outro.
I thought you should have just jingle all the way. Thank you for liking and subscribing and all the things that you do on the socials.
You should pitch this because I hate
Pinching?
pitching my own stuff.
Okay.
But because you're my number one fan, because you're my wife, you pitch it. Like
Pitch what?
the call to actions.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you should definitely buy some merch. I have my One-Eyed Film Podcast hoodie.
I might have new stuff coming out, so maybe they shouldn't buy merch.
Stuff? Well, they could buy stuff now and then buy stuff for your friends and family for Christmas. And then you can get the new stuff for yourself because you don't want to share that. It's fun.
Yep.
I like it.
Okay.
People ask about it and I'm like, yeah, there's a Bible verse on here. You should look it up. It's good.
Yep. Anyways, all that she said. Share this with a friend. Just one. Send
Just
them
a
link.
friend.
Yep.
If everyone shares with a friend, we'll have
Twice.
twice the number. I didn't hesitate because I didn't know it was twice the number. Hey guys, I went to school for engineering. I've
2.
taken 3 calculus classes.
1 + 1.
Equals
Well,
7.
technically 1 × 2. Anyways. Yeah. Pyramid scheme. That's what we're going for.
Yep, 100%.
Take over the world.
Yep, invite your friends and they'll invite their friends and soon we'll have a bunch of one-eyed people running around.
Till next week. Know that you're loved. God bless.
Peace. That's peace on earth, goodwill to men. I'll say that.
Sure. And cut!